Hey, this is Brent Wilburn, sports editor of the Paris News. This is Adam Wadsworth, sports reporter, and we're here with another edition of the RRV Countdown to Kickoff, and another good week here. I mean, and it gets bigger and bigger as we start getting closer to the playoffs.
Right, and we get started this week with one of the biggest games of the year. We've got Liberty Island and North Lamar playing for what is probably going to be the district championship in 15-3A, and both teams are undefeated right now. Third district schedule, and it doesn't get a whole lot bigger than that. What's your prediction right now for what's going to happen this weekend?
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that earlier. We're going to make our predictions this week. It's a little different than last week. We're going with a little different format here. So yeah, prediction-wise, I went with Liberty Island, actually. I mean, it's kind of hard to go with the favorite here, and I know, I'm sure a lot of people in Paris won't like me very much for that. But, it's hard to go against Trey Carson. I mean, I watched him play against Paris, and just when you think you have him pinned up in that hole, he'll squirm out and bust a touchdown run. I mean, it's hard to stop him, and that's kind of why I went with him. And then also their quarterback, they're able to run the option. He can also run just as well as Carson as far as speed goes, so it's hard to combat that.
And as we've been saying all week, Carson is, as we would say, a man beast. But North Lamar's kind of got one of their own there with Dakota Bowles, and those two are actually really similar as far as their running style and their ability to run people over and make big plays. So I'm going to go with them. I'm going to keep going with North Lamar. They haven't proved me wrong except for that Pine Tree game. So I'm going to keep going with them, and hopefully that ends up another big game.
Yeah, I mean, either way it'll be a close game. Yeah. I'm not going to say it's going to be a romp one way or the other, but I went with LE, but either way. And then also in District 15-3A this week, we've got Paris traveling to Mount Vernon. I took Paris to get their first district win this week. I don't know how you went.
I saw Mount Vernon play last week when they played North Lamar, and unfortunately for them, they're really injury-plagued right now. They're on their third-string quarterback starting, and until a couple weeks ago, he'd never even started quarterback. And as athletic as he is, he's a great runner. Mount Vernon doesn't have what it takes to beat Paris this year. They're going to come away with their first district win. And starting into our 3A, we've got our 2A. Sorry, we just finished 3A. Redwater and Prairieland face off this week in District 8-2A. So what's your prediction for them?
I went with Prairieland. It's hard to go against them at home. They've lost 2 at home this year. I just can't see them losing 3 times at home under Coach Schulke. I think he'll have them up for this one, and they'll be able to pull it out against Redwater.
Like you're saying, people not liking you for the North Lamar pick. People may not like me for this one. I took Redwater in this one. I haven't seen them play a lot. Neither of us have. But so all I can really go on is some games they've had mutually. They both lost close games to New Boston, and then they've both beaten Hooks. The only real difference is Prairieland won by a touchdown and Redwater won by 3. So I'm going with the Redwater offense to overtake the Prairieland, and it should be another close game though.
Yeah, and just a few miles down the road, we've got Rivercrest hosting Chisholm at Rebel Stadium. I went with Rivercrest. I mean, to get their first win over Chisholm since the 2000 season, which that's been a little while now, but I think they finally have what it takes this year under Coach Cross to kind of get it done this week against Chisholm.
I agree with you on this one. Rivercrest offense has just been unbelievable this year. And also Chisholm in their 2 wins, they've held their opponents under 3 touchdowns in both of those wins. Rivercrest has only been held under 3 touchdowns once this season. So I'm also going to go with the Rebels there. In that same district, though, another huge game between Cooper and DeKalb, and potential for a bunch of offense in that game. What are you looking at?
Yeah, I went with Cooper. I think you did the same thing. I mean, it's hard to go against Cooper. I view them as the second best team in that district, and they'll be able to go out and prove it, hopefully, for them Friday night against DeKalb on the road, which it'll still be hard. I've seen DeKalb. They're scrappy. They've come a long way from the winless season a year ago, so I think it'll definitely be a close game. But
offensively, Cooper's got that running back to Demetrius Wilkins and DeMarcus Robinson, who have been unbelievable this year, and also quarterback Ty Huey.
And Montreal Roberts.
And Montreal Roberts. And a ton of offense.
And speaking of offense, we're going to go back down to 1A now. Clarksville Tigers traveling down to face Honeygrove, making the trip down 82 for that big game. And it's another game that's probably for its district championship. And I went with Clarksville. I think you might have gone the opposite way, but I went with Clarksville. I think there's too much speed there. I think they'll be able to come away with the win on the road. And I think Coach Davis has got them going in the right direction.
Okay, he definitely does, especially after starting the season 0-4. Clarksville's had a huge turnaround. Honeygrove's put up a disgusting number of points the past few weeks. They won their game last week 62-0. And I think that won't happen this week. There's going to be probably 120 points off.
Yeah, what's the over-under here? What are we working with? 120, is that what we're
That's what I'm going to guess. Oh. But Honeygrove, I think that they end up winning that one in a shootout.
Yeah, and then lastly, we got our Oklahoma. Hugo's still trying to get his first win, which I still don't see it happening against Seminole. I mean, Hugo's just having a rough time this year with the young team, and it's kind of hard for him right now.
They've had a tough time getting anything going on offense, and especially against Seminole this week. The Chieftains are a great program, and I don't see the Buffaloes getting it this week. Next week, the last game of the season is where Hugo has a chance to get their win when they go and face the 1-7 Ida Belt.
Yeah. Well, that's all we've got here for our predictions. Check out Sunday Sports Extra to see just how good we're doing here, and our picks in written form will be in Thursday's edition of the Paris News if you want to check those out too.
And don't forget to follow us on Twitter at @TPN_sports. We do live broadcasting updates from both games that we're at. We try and get as many points from any updates from any other games around the area as we can.
Right. And I guess that's all we've got. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.